Yo, 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 motherfucking what's going down? This is the man, the myth, the legend, the craziest mofo you're gonna probably find out here on motherfucking YouTube that isn't afraid to speak his mind, ain't afraid to go against the grain, ain't afraid to shake the tree limbs, ain't afraid to rattle the cages, aka, you know, that guy. That's who I am. I talk my sports, yes, but I talk my shit as well. And I don't give a fuck what you believe because that's what everybody else believes. And everybody's entitled to believe what they believe, but doesn't mean that your golden rule is the truth. Now, I've been around for a while because I've been fighting a sinus cold. I feel a lot better this week. The other 2 weeks I've been kind of dealing with that, so that's where I've been. What's up, Matt? How you been? How you been, man? I'm sorry to see that the Devontae Adams is no longer a Green Bay Packer. And I think Zadarius Smith is now a Baltimore Ravens, and Matt Ryan is now a Indianapolis Colts. He's been traded from Atlanta now. Deshaun Watson is no longer a Houston Texan. Russell Wilson is a Denver Bronco. We've gotten a lot of trades. Juju Smith-Schuster is in Kansas City. Robert Woods got traded to the Tennessee Titans. Obviously, Jarvis Landry's trying to go. He's trying to go back to the Browns. Jacoby Brissett. Where does the musical chairs end with Baker Mayfield? Does Baker Mayfield go to Carolina now? Does he go down into Atlanta? Does he go to the Houston Texans? What about the 49ers? Do they I mean, what are they trading Jimmy G? Are they going to keep Jimmy G there and let Lance just kind of do the old Brett Favre, the old Aaron Rodgers thing? So it remains to see what teams are going to do. A lot of good moves, I believe. A lot of people are waiting for Tyron the Honey Badger. He's either going to go to Minnesota or he's going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So a lot of good moving parts there. We've had some great college basketball so far. The Cinderella story is St. Peter's. It's been a team. They're a mid-major team out of the Jersey Shore, the first Jersey, mid-major Jersey college since Seton Hall to make it to the Sweet 16. And I'm definitely going to be betting them in the college ranks here. And I've done all right as far as my college betting. Didn't win any parlays. Uh, Picked some winners here and there. Done pretty good towards the end of the week as far as NBA. Yesterday, I shit the bed in spring training. I didn't even win a damn game. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know why I bet in spring training, to be honest with you. Just because I'm bored and I just want something to do. But you can probably hear it in my voice too a little bit, still a little bit. But yeah, I'm glad it was just a science cold, not the COVID or any of this bullshit that. And the Ukraine and Russia shit. Well, I don't give a fuck. Fuck Ukraine. Fuck Russia. Fuck all these idiots trying to make us. And that's my belief. I mean, I don't care which side of the fence you want to be on. It's just like the Republicans and Democrats. Both of them are supposed to be against each other, but both of them want to go fight and go kill Russia apparently, and think that that's. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. People nowadays, if you don't know what the hell's going on, then you ain't got no clue in the world, and you'll never will have a clue in the world, and it's not your fault. But in ways, it is kind of people's faults. But I'm not going to go in here and beat people down for their position or their points of view. And I don't want the same thing coming to me. Just because I say certain things, I shouldn't be censored or people should beat me down. Because I'm not saying that it's the end all be all, but I'm saying that why don't we take a look at it this here? Why is this going on when it's almost like a repeat cycle of what happened before, long, long time ago, like the Star Wars analogies. A long, long time ago, back in the Dark Ages, where they had Darth Vader and it was the Empire versus the Jedi's, but I'm digressing out here. But yeah, we got some college basketball. Some of the ladies getting ready to go play the last half to where they get on the Sweet 16. We got we got the basketball classic here. NIT is still going on here as far as men's basketball. We got 9 game slate here on the NBA. Here we got obviously we got baseball going on, spring training, which is awesome to know that we do gonna have a baseball season and a full 162 games. So yeah, 162 games is quite a lot of games to be honest with you. I mean, so and hey, I appreciate my man Matt, checking in here. I know he's busy and he's Green Bay Packer fan. I think he's an Oakland A's fan as far as baseball. I don't know. I might be telling people you're wrong teams and all that. But I appreciate you stopping by, man, and checking in on me and like I said, I don't hate that nobody comes in my chat and it's just me because then allows me to kind of get into my thing and let me do my groove and I don't have to like kind of like pause and I can just do my thing and I don't want to just like when I get other people that I bring on, they're not going to co-sign my shit. They're not going to be like yep yep yep, and nor do I want people to co-sign my views. And like I said, I'm just here trying to live my life, enjoy it as long as I have it. But I'm not going to be an idiot. I'm not going to be fooled. But I am also going to have a realistic outlook on things and not just look at things with a blind eye. But that being said, let's get into this. Let's get into the lineups here. That's no, I mean not lineups. Let's get into the games here. We'll run it down here real quick. As far as what we like to do here. Like to run it down here. We always like to run it down. Run down the gambit here. And I've yet to make my bets today here, so we're gonna. And my brackets kind of got screwed, so I mean my picks are still in there. I have Gonzaga mostly, most of them except for one. I have Duke. Um, The ladies bracket, I'm doing a lot better than I am in the men's. I have the lady Stanford Cardinal and the lady South Carolina Gamecocks, and two brackets for the women's side. And both those teams they're holding serve. They're holding serve so far. But the Lady Blue Jays of Creighton upset the Iowa. So the one Caitlin Clark, who she was really an amazing, talented woman basketball player. Definitely going to be the next ones to go into the WNBA and be a star, obviously. But yeah, they took a big L, So you know, even in the women's, the men's, yeah, North Carolina taking down Baylor, which to me, the referees in that game were very terrible. Like, I mean, I couldn't tell you. I mean, North Carolina was up. Here's some context. North Carolina was up by like 25, almost going to be up by 30 with like 10 minutes in the second half. And then all of a sudden they eject Manic, who I call little baby Chris Kaman. They ejected him out for like a little bit of elbow. I mean, his elbow didn't even go like blam like that. He just kind of like I hit the guy like that. And then they kept just calling, just stupid. And the guy zero on Baylor. I mean, he's like Vladi Divac, Mr. Flop himself here. Was flopping all over the floor. They kept calling fouls, and then North Carolina got a guy fouled out. Then the game went to go in overtime, and then thank God in overtime, North Carolina, because I would have felt bad. I would have felt so bad. I mean, I picked them. I had North Carolina plus 5.5. And I was just like, man, are they really gonna, It just shows you that, like, you know, people don't think that sports and things aren't rigged. I like to beg to differ. I think in ways they are rigged. You know, it's just rigged to go a certain way. And it's not necessarily that the players know the gig, but it's the guys, the referees, the officials, those type of people that they are officiating, so they can call stupid shit and bullshit. And it doesn't matter if they don't get a job anymore. I mean, obviously they'll get a job somewhere. That's just how the deals go down. All right, so let's run it down here. We got the we'll run it down as far as we'll go to the ladies side right now. We have the women's side of the bracket here at 1 o'clock here in about 5 minutes here. We got The Lady Kansas State Wildcats taking on the Lady NC State Wolfpack here. The Wolfpack is favored to win by 16 and a half. And the over-under is 129 points. Interesting game. I think the Lady Wolfpack should probably take care of business there, but maybe Kansas State will, the ladies of Kansas State will put up a fight. And at 3 o'clock, we got Villanova, the Lady Wildcats, taking on the Lady Michigan Wolverines. Obviously, this is the men's will play later on this week. The women play right now here. This is to obviously get a spot in the Sweet 16. And the men's is going to be a spot to get into the Elite 8. So, interesting matchup here. The Lady Wolverines are favored to win by 13 and a half, so they got to win by 14. And so, the lady Villanova here plus 13 and a half, and the over under total number of points 124 and a half. So then we have the Lady Irish, the Lady Fighting Irish versus the Lady Sooners. And you know, I want to put respect here on the women's game here, and I kind of want to get into that too. It's like we got all these guys that love the NBA, and they say that they support the women's game, but how much do they really support the game? I mean, Kobe was going to try to make it better, but then we know what happened to Kobe. He tragically lost his life, him and his daughter and those people. But you know, what are we doing to bring more light and to put some respect? Put some respect on the women's game here. You know, we say, you know, and I go back to the Aretha Franklin song. You know, just a little bit, just a little bit. RESPCT. Oh, DCT. Oh, sock it to me, sock it to me, sock it to me. You know, like I mean, we put more emphasis on honoring, and this happens to be women. This happens to be women's. You know, this happens to be the Women's Month here to celebrate Women's History Month. And you know, if we can't appreciate the women in this world and our mothers and our grandmothers, our daughters, you know, I mean, because with, I'm sorry, you know, guys, we didn't just, you know, we didn't just fall out of the sky, and a baby stork didn't just, you know, pluck us out of a factory. And, you know, you know, we came from a man, and it took a man and a woman to make another human being. And that's how we procreate. But I'm not going to get on this other, you know, about transgenders and stuff like that. I mean, I mean, hey, if you're an adult and you want to, you know, you don't want to be who you are, that's fine. But leave the fucking kids alone, please. And as when I was a kid, all I cared about was being a kid. But nowadays, it seems like we're bombarding kids with all this and that, and we're trying to, you know, we're almost trying to give kids more responsibilities than they should have. But that's just my take. That's just my take. I mean, I wish they would just stop that. But unfortunately, we have the lunatics running the asylum, and all us good people seem to try to fight as much as we can. But it just seems like, I mean, and that's all I'm going to talk about that there. Okay. But that's please put some respect on the WNBA, the lady college basketball, lady sports, women in general. You know, especially this being Women's Month. Let's have some damn respect for the women of our lives that have taken care of us and put up with our bullshit as men, and you know, vice versa. You know, men putting up with you know, it's not just a one-way street. Not men or women are wrong. We're both wrong, and we both have to figure a way out how we're going to be able to live amongst each other, because that's the only way. It's the only way that, you know, human beings can be created. Yes, like, you know, yes, you could donate your eggs, and yes, you could donate your sperm, and then magically, you know, you have a test tube baby. You know, the old back in the day, use a test tube baby. But, you know, I mean, really. I mean, nobody cares. Nobody wants to have a conversation. It's always shut the hell up. You know, oh, you're a bigot. You're this and that. And that's not a valid points or arguments either. So let's just get that out the way. But that being said, we got the Lady Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the Oklahoma Sooner girls. They're playing in Norman. A very close game there. You're only thinking that Oklahoma girls are favored on the spread by a point and a half, meaning they have to win by 2. So very close game there. And the over-under is 158 and a half. Ooh, they think there's going to be a lot of points scored in that game. Then we have Lady Belmont here. The ladies of Belmont taking on the Lady Volunteers of Tennessee. So basically a battle of Tennessee. They'll be playing in the Thomas Bowling Arena in Knoxville, Tennessee. Tennessee is minus 10. The over-under is 126. Then down in Baton Rouge at the Pistol Pete Maravich Assembly Center down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, we have the Lady Buckeyes taking on the Lady Tigers of LSU, Louisiana State University. They think the Lady LSU Tigers minus the 4 here, but I think the Lady Buckeyes they're going to be in for a challenge here. They're going to be able to challenge the Lady Tigers tonight here. I think that's going to be a respectable game. I mean, Ohio State's obviously plus 155 on the money line here, and 142 is the over/under. I think there's going to be a lot of points being scored in that game as well. Then we have the next game. We have the Lady Princeton Tigers taking on the Lady Indiana Hoosiers. The Lady Hoosiers are number 3, and the Lady Princeton Tigers are the 11th seed. Indiana is minus 6 tonight. Princeton, I picked them in the first round as far as my female women's brackets upsets here. So I don't know. Maybe I take them tonight here. Part of my college, pair of college men and women game here. Obviously, won't be able to pick the Kansas State and North Carolina State game, but the Lady Tigers of Princeton are plus 230 here. I mean, I had them on the money line last time here. And the over-under is 125 and a half on the hook. So be an interesting game to say the least. Maybe the Indiana Hoosiers win here. Maybe I'll take the spread here. Maybe. Then we have the ladies of Central Florida, the Lady Knights, taking on the Lady Huskies of Connecticut. So Lady Huskies are favored to win by 16 and a half, which means they got to win by 17. Nobody's favored here on the money line, and the over/under is 110 points. Then we have, last but not least, in Tucson, Arizona, we have the Lady North Carolina Tar Heels taking on the Lady Arizona Wildcats here. So again, a really close margin here. Arizona favored to win by 1.5, which they have to win by 2. Nobody's favored here on the money line, and the over/under is 127 points and a half. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 games minus this game here, the lady. All right, then looks like we got live men. This looks like live men's, I think, here. All right, so we got the basketball classic here. We got Florida Gulf Coast. They are taking on Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina here. In the basketball classic, whoever's the home team, they're playing in their home gymnasium. So they're playing in Coastal Carolina, which I believe is in South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. They are favored to win by 3.5 points. All right. But Florida Gulf Coast is obviously the underdog, so they're plus 150 on the money line. And the over-under of 145 points, no hook. The next game we have University of South Carolina Upstate taking on Southern Alabama. Southern Alabama's favorite, and they're the home team here, minus 8.5 tonight. Upstate has been my team here that I have, one of these mid majors, you would say, or these lower tier college Division I teams. I'm the dude that bets on these guys. I'm the dude that bets the weird games. I'll bet on the big conferences and this and that. But I do like, watching everybody because I feel like that's how I am. I'm the unknown guy out here talking sports, talking betting, talking fantasy, And and I don't care. I enjoy it. I thrive being the underdog. I don't care to be the favorite. I love being the underdog. That's how I'll always be. I always have that chip on my shoulder. And a lot of people always say that that's, Kenny, you always walk around with a chip on your shoulder. Well, that's what keeps me alive every day. That's what keeps me motivated. That's what keeps me going. You know, what motivates you every day is different. What motivates everybody is different. Some people need a swift kick in the ass. Some people need a little bit of guidance. Some other people just need to be left the fuck alone, and just hopefully they'll figure it out. And motivation is whatever you make it. You know, some things motivate people to do the right things, and some things motivate people to do the wrong things. And that's all I'm talking about as far as motivation. Okay. So we got 8.5 there. We got Upstate is the underdog plus 320 on the money line, and we have a over under of 141.5. All right, next college game we have is Southern Utah and University of Texas El Paso. Texas El Paso is the home team, the Miners. They're taking on the Thunderbirds of Southern Utah here. So -4 here. So obviously Southern Utah is plus 155 on the money line as the Dogs. And we have the over under of 143. 143 points. All right. Then we have last but not least the late game. We have Youngstown State taking on Fresno State. Fresno State is the home team, favored to win by 13.5. Man, Youngstown State plus 800 plus 805 on the money line here tonight. Oof. I mean, that's telling you that's a heavy dog right there. That's a heavy dog. And the over under of 130 and a half. So we have a game going on right now between Northern Colorado, the Bears of Northern Colorado, and North Carolina Cashville, the Bulldogs, and they're tied in the first half here, 29 to 29. Obviously, Cashville's at home, favored to win by 2.5 right now, currently on the live numbers. And Northern Colorado is plus 123, and the over under is 158 points. Wow. Oh, Asheville's actually up by 2 now here. They must have hit some free throws. So that is what's going on there as far as. Let's look at the NBA action here. We'll break down the NBA here tonight, starting at 7 Eastern. Obviously 4 p.m. West Coast time for us West Coast people. We have the Portland Trail Blazers on the road taking on the Detroit basketball Pistons here. Pistons are favored to win by 9 now. -9 is the spread. Trailblazers are plus 330. The over-under is over-under of a 222. So 222.5. So 222.5 is the over-under in that game. We have, at the same time, we have the Los Angeles Lakers on the road into Cleveland, taking on the Cavaliers. Cavaliers are -5 on the spread. Lakers are plus 180 on the money line. We have an over-under of about 227 points. All right, the next game we have is the New Orleans Pelicans on the road taking on the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte Hornets are home favorites -6. And the Pelicans are plus 195 on the money line. And we have an over-under of 234.5. Let's see, about 7:40 Eastern time, big game in the city of brotherly love. We had the red hot Miami Heat. Believe they're the number 1 seed in the East, taking on the Philadelphia 76ers, the James Harden and Joel Embiid. And Joel Embiid in the Philadelphia, they're plus 4.5 here. So I don't know, maybe Joel Embiid or James Harden is not playing tonight for the Heat to be up by favored on the road. They're road favorites here, -4.5 points here, and Philadelphia is plus 160 on the money line as being the underdog here, and the over/under is 215 points. So Gonna be an interesting basketball game to say the least. I'm just gonna kind of do some research to see who's out because I mean I think if both teams are playing kind of full strength, it'd be more like a 1.5 or 2 point kind of a spread. Then we have at the same time as the Miami Heat and the Philadelphia game, we have the Utah Jazz coming in to visit the Brooklyn Nets here. And obviously no Kyrie Irving because they're playing in Brooklyn. And we all know why, because Kyrie Irving decided he doesn't want to be vaccinated. But, it's all supposed to be, they're all supposed to have a choice, it's not supposed to be forced upon us. But unfortunately, other people think otherwise and think that, well, you got to do as they tell you to, not as you choose. We're always told that we have a freedom of choice when that's always manipulated too. But that's not why I'm going to sit here and speak on my podcast. I'm here to talk sports. So therefore, the Brooklyn Nets are plus 1.5 here. Obviously, the Jazz are to win by 2 on the road here, road favorites, just like the Miami Heat. So interesting. All right. Let's see. Brooklyn Nets are plus 105 on the money line. And we have an over under 230. Wow. That's a lot of points. A lot of points. A lot of points. Then we have the Toronto Raptors taking on the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls back in the Windy City here, -4 here against the Raptors, who played yesterday and ended up beating the Philadelphia 76ers, mind you. So interesting there. Bulls will be kind of banged up with Zach LaVine battling knee tendonitis and Alonzo Ball being hurt and Patrick Williams having a wrist injury. So we got Caruso back. We still have Vooch. We still have DeMar DeRozan. We have our young rookie from Illinois who's playing good. I call him Ayo. Ayo's playing very well for us. So Raptors are plus 150 on the money line. The over-under is 220. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. The next game, we got the Boston Celtics taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder in OKC tonight. The Celtics are obviously big favorites on the road to win by 15, but they beat the Boston Celtics did beat the Denver Nuggets last night pretty handily, I might add. So obviously Thunder is plus 750. And I bet the Thunder yesterday on the money line, and boy, was I wrong. But I definitely like the Thunder. They're definitely, if I were to pick the under, which 216, definitely, I kind of like that. Definitely like the under in this game, 216, definitely because the Celtics are the better team here. Probably could easily dominate. And I do like this. I do like the Thunder plus 14.5 and the under. That could be a good 2 parlay punch right there. Next game, we have the Washington Wizards taking on the Houston Rockets. Rockets are plus 5, home underdogs here. Wizards are favored to win by 5. Mind you, there's no Bradley Beal. You still have Kyle Kuzma, and they still have Kristaps Porzingis and Rui Hachimura, and they have Denny and some other young guys down there here. So Rockets are plus 175. I mean, Rockets aren't too bad of a team here. Won't count them out totally here. I'm having over under of 234 points. So an interesting game to say the least. And last but not least, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Dallas Mavericks. And the Mavericks are favored at home, -2. So I definitely like this game, and I definitely like the spread at -2. Or the Timberwolves +2. It's definitely a good number. And Timberwolves have been playing pretty well as of late. They are plus 115 on the money line and over under 230. So All right. So with that being said, let's look at hockey here. We got some hockey to speak about today here. We have the Boston Bruins taking on the Montreal Canadiens. And then we have the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Minnesota Wild. Then we have the Edmonton Oilers taking on the Colorado Avalanche. And the Nashville Predators taking on the Anaheim Ducks, or I like to call them the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 NHL games out here. Obviously, there is baseball as well here. Baseball going on right now here. And we only got 2 games here. Rest of the games are obviously ongoing right now here. So we'll give you a little update there here. Let's go do that here. We'll get some baseball updates here. Spring training updates here on who's winning, who won some games. Obviously, they got 2 different leagues. They have the Cactus League, which is split up between American League and National League, and basically they have the Grapefruit League, which is in Florida, where usually the Yankees and all them are usually playing. So let's get into it right now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get in some live scores here. Let's get in some live scores of baseball here. We can't miss out on baseball here. We got the Baltimore Orioles leading the Minnesota Twins 8-6 in the top of the 8th. We have the top of the 9th where the Pittsburgh Pirates are leading 5-1 over the Tampa Bay Rays. We got the bottom of the 1st where we have scoreless between the Cincinnati Reds and the Chicago Cubs. We got the end of the 1st going to the top of the 2nd here with the Dodgers and the White Sox 0-0. We had the bottom of the 1st between the Texas Rangers and the Cleveland Guardians 0-0. We have the bottom of the 1st, Mariners and Diamondbacks 0-0. We are going into the bottom of the 1st between the Royals and the Angels 0-0. We got the top of the 1st with the Rockies and Padres 0-0. Games that already went final today. We had the Boston Red Sox staying undefeated here, 5-0, shutting out the Atlanta Braves here. Boston is 5-0, and they're 4-0 as the home team here so far in spring training. We have the Toronto Blue Jays winning 3-1 over the Detroit Tigers. Blue Jays are 3-1 in the spring training, and the Miami Marlins here. Derek Jeter is no longer a part of that organization. He has stepped down. He believes that team is not going the way he thought they were going to go. But they're 3-0 so far in the spring training. They blanked the Mets 3-0. Now we had the New York Yankees. We have the New York Yankees that took out the Philadelphia Phillies 5-2. And we also have the then we have the Cardinals who are undefeated. The St. Louis Cardinals, they're 2-0, taking on the Washington Nationals that are 1-2. And then you have the Brewers that are 2-0, taking on the San Francisco Giants here. The Giants are 1-2 here. They're playing in Scottsdale, and the Nationals and the Cardinals are playing at Palm Beach, Florida. So that's a little update. Let's give you an update on the women's second round here to go to the Sweet 16. Kansas State has a lead of 11-10 over the Lady Wolfpack of North Carolina State. There is 4 minutes and 30 seconds in the first quarter. They play 4 quarters. The women play 4 quarters, and the men they play 2 halves. Don't ask me there. So let's get a. We're gonna get a scoring. We'll get a scoring update here as far as the men's. There's no in. Okay, I didn't. I hate this fucking thing. All right, there's no NIT games tonight here. We have the CBI here. CBI here. We at halftime. We have North Carolina Asheville, aka Cashville, leading Northern Colorado 41-38. Already went final. North Carolina Wilmington edges out by a point here. They edge out the Drake Bulldogs here, 76-75. Wilmington scored 52 points in the second half. Drake scored 41. I mean, man, that is just miraculous there. Then we have Middle Tennessee. We have Middle Tennessee State here taking on Boston University at 3 o'clock. They got let's see, we have Middle Tennessee is -5, and the over/under is 138.5. That'll be played in Daytona, Florida. And then we have the Ohio Bobcats taking on the Abilene Christian Wildcats here. Ohio is -1 on the line, on the spread line, and the over/under of 145 points. All right. And then we have the Basketball Classic. We have the Basketball Classic here. Definitely, definitely some games to watch for today here. So I think we did a good rundown here. I did a good rundown of what the games are tonight here today. Games are going on here. And I'm just gonna take the time right now to just cut it short here since it's been I haven't been on here in a while, and I just wanted to get up on here and talk about sports here. My betting record last week here. Let's see, we were 40-31 as far as college basketball. That's combined men and women's. NBA where we're 19-12. NHL only bet one game last week in NHL, and then yesterday was the first day of spring training that I bet, and I went 0-7. I didn't cash it all. So, but today we're going to stick to men and women's college. So we're going to pair that together, and then we're just going to do NBA, and we're going to see what we do from there. But I just want to get back on here and start my sports cast, start talking about it again. I'm excited about football's coming up. You got the draft next month. We got baseball. They finally came with a deal. They got spring training going. We got college basketball. We got the NBA going right now. I mean, we obviously got soccer, in the midst of things, and a lot of other things going on in the world today that we can either sit here and have a discussion, or we can sit here and tell each other that we're both wrong and idiots. And I am a believer of that's let's hear people out. Let's hear why they think of this thing, and then let's go about how with the facts. And I understand that facts are not very well received and reciprocated in today's life and today's world. It's all about public opinion and how many people you can get to take to your side and that stuff. With that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful day, a wonderful Monday. I know for many people, Mondays are it's the start of the week and it's kind of, I got to get back to. But, we have to look at things like this. We have to enjoy we have to enjoy this world and this life for what we have, not for what this world's become, or not for what sides we must take, or this or that, but what we could do to live a good life, and we can continue to pass that down to generations, and so we that way we don't have to endure the sufferings and this and that. But for some reason, we continue to go down the same route. Now, whether we want to admit to ourselves that we are all wrong or we all, that is another story in time. And like I said, nobody cares, and everybody thinks that you're just talking out your ass, and everybody's only going to believe what they want to believe. So people are going to believe themselves, and people could believe themselves, be led blindly into the oblivious, and they don't care, and until until we stop, perfectly running ourselves into the wall, or being like lemmings and just continually following the leader, which we think these leaders are telling us the right thing when they're just leading us all off a fucking cliff. And then we could just cry about it and act like we're victims and that we don't have no part or it wasn't our fault, which whatever. I'm not here to tell people how to live their lives. I'm just saying, if you live your life accordingly and it's not going right, maybe, just maybe, the way you think is right ain't right, and you need to change course, or else you're just going to continue on that same course and that same path. And at that point, can't blame anybody but yourself. But on that note, let's have a great day. Let's enjoy it, and let's make the best of this life and be better each and every day. If we can't better ourselves each and every day, then we can't expect nothing more and nothing less. And this is Fresh and Funky, and I'm out this piece.